Hi everyone, my name is Emily and I'm the Young Adult Librarian at the Rock Island Public Library, and today I'm going to tell you about a book that is called Some Places More Than Others. So in this book you meet a girl named Amara, and Amara is about to turn 12, and pretty soon she's going to have a baby sister, and she's very excited, but she's also wondering because of, in part, the school project that she's been assigned called the Suitcase Project, where she has to do some research on family history. And this is making her realize some things about her family that she never noticed before. For example, she always talks to her grandpa, who lives in New York, like on holidays. But what she's realized is it's never her dad, even though the grandpa is his dad. Like, it's never her dad who's like calling. It's always Amara's mom. And when Amara thinks about it, she realizes that she's never known her dad and her grandpa to actually talk. And what she finds out while she's like looking in her family's Bible, like this was a Bible that her parents, got as a gift, and it's got like important dates about their family inside the front cover. When she's looking in this, what she realizes is that her Grandma Grace actually died the same day that Amara was born. And when Amara kind of thinks this through and actually talks to her mom, what she discovers is that Amara's dad and her grandpa, they haven't spoken since Amara was born. So Amara wants to know more about this, and she's never actually been to New York. Like, she and her parents live in Washington State, pretty close to Seattle. And her dad works for Nike, and, they have a really nice life. But, Amara's almost 12, and she's thinking, okay, it's sort of weird that, I've never gotten to, visit Grandpa in New York. This is where Dad grew up, and, I have all these questions. I'd love to hear more stories about our family, and, maybe kind of find out what happened between Dad and Grandpa, and, learn why they aren't talking anymore, why they haven't talked in almost 12 years. So Amara's dad has a business trip coming up, and for her birthday, all she wants is to go with him to New York. That's the only gift she wants. And at first her parents say, no, you're too young. We don't think so. It's, because her dad, going to New York, he's going for work. He wouldn't really have time to show her around that much. But finally, what happens is, after Amara's mom has said, hey, let's plan a slumber party for, some of your friends can come over, we'll do all this, it'll be fun. And Amara's like, okay, that's fine. It's not New York, which is what I was hoping for, but yeah, okay. But then her mom, one morning at breakfast, her parents are kind of looking at each other, and Amara's worried because she's like, okay, what's going on? You have okay, we're gonna tell you something. And Amara's seen movies and TV. She's like, what's happening? Is there something wrong with the baby? Are you getting a divorce? But then her mom says, Amara, we're gonna have to cancel the slumber party that you were gonna have for your birthday. And Amara is like, what? Why? And her dad says, because you're coming to New York with me. And Amara is so happy because this is what she wanted. And she finally gets to meet her grandpa. And it's great spending time with him and getting to kind of interview him for this Suitcase Project for school. And it's good to have this reason to do it, but Amara just wants to know. When she's taking photos and, her cousins kind of show her around, and they go to the Schomburg Center and, learn about a lot of cool history. Amara is just interested. Her cousins are like, oh, you're doing this for your school project. But really inside, Amara is like, no, I just want to know about this stuff. Of course, the problem Amara has in this book is trying to talk to her dad and talk to her grandpa about why they aren't talking anymore. And of course, part of this has to do with just things they said to each other after Grandma Grace died. And Amara knows that her dad, he wanted to be a poet. He loved writing poetry when he was young. And his dad, he was more of a sports guy. He didn't think this was a thing. He wasn't interested in this. And, basically she has to figure out, okay, is this something that these two can like talk about, like, again, like she has her 12th birthday while she's in New York, and the main thing she hopes for is, okay, you know, maybe like I can, because by this time she's kind of had a little bit of a falling out with her cousins. Like she's said something that maybe she shouldn't have, and she regrets as soon as she says it. So she has to work out, okay, you know, what can I say to kind of make things right again? And she knows at the same time, you know, her dad is sort of dealing with this too. Like, her grandpa wants to apologize, but Amara's dad isn't sure that, you know, he's open to that. So it's a book about not family secrets so much as the things that happen in families. You know, sometimes people hurt each other's feelings, you know, sometimes people, they won't so much get in fights as, you know, have these moments of, you know, you'll say a thing and maybe you can't take it back very easily. So it's Amara getting to know her family's history and understanding that, okay, you know, even though she's not from New York, you know, she has roots there. And she's excited to learn more about this and, you know, this part of her family that she's always, you know, been at a distance from, both because she lives so far away in Washington, but also because of this distance between her dad and her grandpa that's, you know, existed her whole life. So if you like realistic fiction, this is a really good book. And it's also just, you know, a fun story of like getting to travel, which a lot of us haven't been able to in the past year. So if you're looking to kind of travel vicariously with somebody, you can do that with Amara. And this book is available as an ebook through Access 360, or you can check out a physical copy from the library. And thank you for watching. I will see you again next week.